As with all searches of this kind, the police and the searchers have to contend with the grim idea that there might have been foul play, but there really are no clues, no theories as to the disappearance of the two girls. Bill McSpadden reporting from Lake Sammamish State Park.
We recognize the tremendous job that all of the police officials have been doing in this area, the search and rescue units. Everyone has just been tremendous. But if the addition of individuals and private groups, the information that they might be able to get that would be helpful, can help with the return of our daughter, we would do anything to facilitate that. She's a beautiful, wonderful girl.
Thank you very much for calling.
Anything to it?
I think in Janice's case, it's really hard to say. I'm not as familiar with Denise from the information that I've received so far as to what her habits were, her friends, and everything of this sort. I feel that we're much closer to the case on or to the circumstances and the details surrounding Janice's disappearance. So far, we've gotten a few leads, and a few volunteers who apparently have seen these girls have come forward. Since the missing persons report was first put out over the news, we've gotten a few good leads, particularly on Janice Ott, the missing girl from Issaquah. As far as Denise Naslund, we're still a little bit shaky on that yet. We're getting some leads, we're developing some leads, some more information is coming in, but it isn't anything that we can really go on right now that would be beneficial to, say, a good follow-up.
Each lead has to be followed. Every phone call has to be made. Most lead nowhere. Some pan out with a speck of information that may someday help clear up the mystery of the whereabouts of Janice Ott and Denise Naslund. Bill McSpadden reporting from the King County Courthouse.
Teams have found some footprints in this gravel pit, and they're now sealing it off and bringing in experts to check it out. This gravel pit is only one area being scoured today by search and rescue teams. In subsequent days, if nothing is found, the Cougar Mountain area will be searched, the Tiger Mountain area, indeed all surrounding area around the Lake Sammamish State Park, until hopefully something is found. This is John Sandifer reporting. Officials have told us that they will check out any possibility, regardless of how remote it is, in an effort to try to locate the two missing girls. And so the activity in the gravel pit was simply part of that. In subsequent days, the entire area around the Lake Sammamish State Park will be searched inch by inch. This is John Sandifer reporting.
Well, according to some of the books I've read and articles where they've used psychics before, there have been times where apparently they have turned up something.
What's their conjecture?
Their conjecture at this point is that possibly the girls or one of the girls might be in or around a foliage area, such as a swamp or a lake. Now, this same technique was apparently tried down in Texas, where they located 27 locations of the young boys that were found murdered down there. And we brought in an expert who has done a master's thesis in infrared. This is his job. This is what he does for a living. We had him come in this afternoon and interpret the films or the slides for us. Now, he pointed out 8 areas that we've already covered twice that might possibly show some ground disturbance or foliage that is either dying or in the process of dying.
Here, that'll get me here.
We would just like to caution all young ladies that are going to partake in the beaches tomorrow and at the races that they do not leave with a stranger, that anybody that approaches them that is a stranger or makes any overtures towards them, that they notify one of our police officers immediately. We have 165 police officers in the area of the pits and the races. They've all been talked to about this problem, and the officers know that the women will be complaining to them if anybody of this nature causes any problem, and they will take action immediately. We don't feel that there will be such a terrible problem, but this on the race day will be somewhat like it was at Lake Sammamish. There'll be a large gathering of people, and we just want to caution the young women of our community to be overly cautious at this time.
In these last 5 cases, they just vanished for no apparent reason. We're pretty sure that there is probably foul play some way or another, and we feel that we haven't come to the end of our line here, that there's a good possibility that this could happen again. We feel that it's incumbent upon us to keep the public informed, to warn them of the areas that we're gravely concerned about.
Chief Hanson acknowledges that it may work a hardship on the young people and their new way of life in meeting other people, but he hopes that they will use just plain common sense in contacts with strangers. Will McSpadden reporting.
But with the disappearance of the Ott and the Naslund girls on the same day from the same state park came the first indications that a male subject was involved. There were 40,000 people out here on that day, and some of them recall that Janice Ott had been asked by a good-looking young man wearing an arm cast to help her load his sailboat on the car in the parking lot beyond. These same witnesses provided information for a police sketch and recalled the man with the cast had asked several young ladies for help that day. His name was Ted, and he was very polite and suave. Almost immediately, police were getting reports that Ted was at Central State College and at the Seattle Tavern, where 2 other girls had disappeared. And soon Ted was being spotted behind every tree, behind every bush. Police followed up on all the reports, but found nothing.
At the same place that it stood in January. We don't know any more than we did then.
In other words, you don't know anything, really.
We don't know anything.
One thing. Since the publication of the description of the man called Ted, there have been no further disappearances from this area. John Sandifer for ABC News in Seattle.